Good evening everyone and welcome along to TTML. We are here for Division 2 action. It is Season 4, Round 2 of the Championship as we take in the Japanese Grand Prix from the Suzuka International Circuit. My name is James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream as always on a Thursday night, and joining me in the commentary box it is Mr. Michael Edwards. Mike, how you doing?
I am looking forward to this one. Japan, one of my favourite circuits, and it's a one that can throw some changeable conditions out there. It's a on-the-edge track, absolute thriller, figure of 8. Let's get it.
Yeah, only figure of 8. If I got my words out, that'd be great. Only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. That's what I was gonna say. Instead, it just came out like a whole blurb. Literally like that. Reminding you, though, of round 1 of the championship, the British Grand Prix ended last week. Isotopic took the win from Noisy in second and TDB in third. What did that do? Well, Isotopic in the championship on 32 points. Noisy in second on 25 and TDB in third on 20 points. York with the fastest lap of the race in 4th on 19, with Ryan in 5th on 15, Funky Chicken in 6th on 14, Wesker 7th on 13, Nolan in 8th on 12, TMC CR7 in 9th on 11, and AJ in 10th on 10 points. Looking down the rest of the field as well, Callboy 11th on 9, PewDieBoy in 12th on 8, Jonas in 13th on 7, Matibos on 6, Sway on 5, Magnus on 4, and Old School, who has now left the league, replaced by Cam, he is on 3 points. Steph, Cam, who was a reserve, and F1 AMG, all scoring nil points at this moment in time. And Mike, just looking at that championship standings, Isotopic was very dominant in that race, apart from that late safety car, of course, that came out. Isotopic excelled out on track. Noisy and TDB close behind, though. What did we see from the first round of the championship that could mean it can follow on to the second round here in Japan?
Well, I mean, what we saw, Isotopic coping with the conditions last time out in Silverstone extremely well. I think he had like an 8-9 second gap at one point before the safety car came out. But one thing that we did see was very close in behind with Ryan and Noisy in a little battle for second. Ryan, of course, picking up a 3-second time penalty, so the late safety car put him down the order. And of course, we had TDB trying to make his way through the field, and yeah, hopefully we're going to be treated to an exciting race here tonight, as I believe we've got everyone beginning to ready up to get into the session.
Yeah, we have indeed. We're about 3 seconds away from literally getting going into the session here in Japan. Of course, no graphics here tonight. Tom, once again, missing in action, but I'm sure he'll be back very soon indeed to take you through, along with the lovely graphics that we've got. We have got the task system, though, and that's what we're going to be feeding the data from, and hopefully all of these guys are going to have the correct settings on. If not, and if you're like Autogee and Nolan, you get a failure to comply with task regulations, and you get a reprimand as a result. Ryan's resultant incident last week, no further action, and the incident between Callboy, Jonas and Nolan, it was a no further action and caused as a racing incident. Nolan had nowhere to go. Callboy spun because of his dangerous rejoin. Jonas was just unlucky to be where he was. And yeah, those three, of course, making contact. Hopefully it is going to be a fantastic night's worth of action here tonight in Japan. It's taken a little time to get us into the lobby. And we have got 2 new drivers, which I'll come on to in just a second as well. But the immediate future casts to the weather, and the weather around Suzuka here is, as I've got a black screen with please waiting on, sunny. Absolutely beautiful conditions, and that is perfect for qualifying.
Yep, absolutely perfect conditions for qualifying. However, this track, very unforgiving. You can easily lose it in the S's as you're going through turns 3 and 4 as you climb up the top of the hill. Turn 7, Dunlop curb, touch that inside curb at your own peril.
I'm just having a look at the task system, by the way. We've got 2 Matt Tibbuses in the task system tonight. Now, yeah, we've got one on the Renault and one on the Williams. That is the correct Matt Tibbos in the Williams, which leads me to believe, I believe the other one is Relentless Nolan. He's had a name change, of course, so Relentless Nolan now in the Renault, and that is just clarify up if anybody is following through the task system. Not our fault, as Nolan actually lets through first man out on track, which is Funky Chicken. Cam actually riding behind as well. Noticeable on Cam, I've just seen there, the yellow wall tyres fitted, and he's on a set of mediums while the guys in front of him on a set of softs.
Yeah, interesting to just get a sighter in on those mediums. Of course, he will be looking to qualify, and the sort of strategy here is a simple one stop. However, you never know what can happen in the race, and it could be changeable conditions. We don't know, but as Joe just following on board, Nolan taking it very easy on his outlap, of course.
Yeah, it's easy to. I think it's best to take it on an outlap, very easy on an outlap, I should say, because if you don't end up like a Kvyat, you end up into the hairpin like Kvyat did in 2014. Of course, he got caught on the grass, he spun the car. Anybody out on track does not want to be doing that out on track as well. But this track, 5.8 kilometers in length, 3.6 mile, with the 27 laps awaiting us out on track, 18 minutes worth of qualifying. C3, C2 and C1 compounded tyres, softs, mediums and the hards, and those are the three compounded tyres that you'll be knowing unless it becomes wet within the race. Intermediates or wets are also available for the guys out on track. And Funky Chicken, hopefully going to be ordering a KFC after this if he does a very good qualifying performance. That was a very bad pun. As he now comes through the Casio Triangle and now through the final corner to start us off on this lap. And let's ride on board then with Funky Chicken as he now comes across the line to start us off on this 5.8 kilometre circuit. There's a car off to the right hand side. That's Jonas, one of the new guys out coming out the pit lane now. But Funky Chicken through turn 1, through turn 2, and then in towards the centre S section through 3, 4, 5 and 6. These come at you very quick, these corners, and Funky Chicken through 4, then through 5, then through 6, and then up the run up towards the Dunlop curve, where we saw quite a few spins actually in Division 1 qualifying on a Tuesday night. And Funky Chicken now coming towards the end of the first sector. 31.1 is a Pewdie Boy. He's had a collision with TDB and he's got a 5-place grid penalty. Not sure where that might have happened out on track. I'm sure Mike will probably try and inform us that in just a second. But Funky Chicken coming into the hairpin, and a very good lap so far from the Racing Point out on track. What happened with the Pewdie Boy and the other driver? TDB.
Well, TDB at the moment is at the top of the deck right now. He's pretty much come to a stop. It looks like both McLarens getting tangled up with each other.
Yeah, Pewdie Boy on an outlap, TDB on an outlap as well. Not sure what's going on. TDB lets him through. There's left side end plate damage on the car left for Pewdie Boy. We'll go back on board with Funky Chicken. He's coming through 130R, purple middle sector at this stage. I think Relentless Nolan is behind him out on track. But Funky Chicken now coming through the final couple of corners. Through the Casio Triangle, through 17, then through the, not hitting the bump of course, the bump removed, 126.2 to start off the night. Nolan across the line, and he goes quickest of all, 125.8, and he's a good 4/10 of a second ahead of Funky Chicken.
Yeah, but now we're going to see the pace of everyone else as we got Ryan now coming through final corner. It's a 26-0, so Nolan actually doing a good banker, and I believe we just seen Wesker there in the fourth, and Isotopic after last week's great showing. Purple in the final and first sector gets him up in second place right now.
Yeah, very good lap. Magnus, the Division 4 champion I'm on board with, coming through the final corner, be looking to try and put it up there, and he has. He's put it into 6th, 126.4 from Magnus, around 9 thousandths of a second off that man there, Wesker in 5th I should say. Noisy there into 7th, 6 thousandths off in fact, the back of Magnus. Jorg goes up into 4th position as well. The first lap times are coming in. AJ has stopped coming towards the pit lane. I'm not sure if he's had a little bit of a collision with CR7, so he let him through down into the pit lane, and he invalidated his lap time, and he is back into the pits. Jonas, though, one of the new guys out on track, he's coming through towards the end of this middle sector towards Spoon Curve. He now comes with 5 minutes gone in qualifying. Nolan out on top, Isotopic second, Ryan third, Jorg fourth, and Funky Chicken ran off the top 5 as Matt Jonas, the reserve, on a lap.
Yeah, a little bit unstable there through Spoon. He got a little bit too close to that inside curve for my liking, and you can see in the lap time he's well over half a second off Nolan in that middle sector split. So we'll see what his final sector is like as he comes from the Casio Triangle and the infamous final corner where there's no longer a bump there, and it's at 26.7.
Yeah, 26.7 there out on track from Mad Jonas, and he goes 2 tenths behind Jonas at this stage. Cowboy is on a lap time as well, or actually just literally came across the line as I was about to pick him up. 1:26.636, he went into 11th. FPL Vettel, another reserve here tonight, one of our new drivers within the league in Division 2, and he'd be hoping for a very good result, of course, taking that Mercedes seat from TNR Steph, who can't make it tonight. But Vettel, how do you rate him so far? Obviously he hasn't shown anything yet, but how do you think he'll get on in qualifying?
Well, we'll have to wait and see how he stacks up, and it's great, of course, coming in as a reserve. Like, he wants to put in a good performance. Sure, now, I mean, he's out there on the mediums. See what that time he can do, as I'm on board with Sway, who's flying through Sector 1 and currently coming towards the hairpin of Sector 2. Sway on for a good lap, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought the lap times would be a bit quicker for the banker laps. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, 25. Yeah, I mean 25.8 for Nolan, 25.9 for Isotopic. We didn't see competitive running in qualifying in Suzuka anyways, so that's why we didn't have a real comparison from Division 1 to Division 2. Sway's on the lap, he's got Cowboy just ahead of him out on track. Magnus, by the way, set a purple first sector, 30.9. Sway through the middle sector, not a bad middle sector at all. He's coming in 15, 38.8 through the middle sector. He was 3/10 down on Magnus's first sector, but now Sway coming through the final couple of corners out on track. I think he's going to go around Cowboy sort of area, comes across the line, actually goes 6th in the end. What does the commentator know? 1:26.234 from Sway. Not a bad number to have on your lap time. LMN is on a lap, TDB's just started, and Vettel coming up the hairpin as well. One board with LMN though, 109.5 through the middle sector, and that is quick. It's the quickest middle sector of all from LMN. And see, let's see the Dane, how he gets on coming around the final couple of corners through Casio Triangle, and then could go top with this lap time. LMN comes across the line, and he does go top by the thinnest of thin margins, 1/1000th of a second. LMN on top, Nolan second, Isotopic in third, and we're right on board with TDB, who's through the hairpin, and Vettel, who's coming up in towards 130R.
Yep, Vettel about 4/10 off LMN's middle sector. At this moment, as he comes into the Casino Triangle, Vettel now to the line. What's he gonna do?
York. He'll go around York area. Ah, not a bad prediction. 1:26 flat. He went 4th, just ahead of Ryan. Very good up there from him. TDB is on a lap time, and TDB in fact is flying. 30.9 through the first sector, 38.6 through the middle, and TDB now could be going top. LMN's lap time is in trouble. TDB across the line, that's more like it. 1:25.6, and TDB lays down the gauntlet halfway through qualifying. TDB on top, LMN second, and Nolan in third.
Yeah,
oh, it's Isotopic
is out.
And that's through turn 2. That's literally on the right hand side as we just came through. Isotopic out the session. Looks like his wheels are intact, so I wonder if he's had a very slow collision with the wall.
I think... Let's have a little look here. Yeah, I think he may have just lost it on the exit of turn 2 and gone off into the
oh yeah,
on the right there.
His right hand wheel, his right front wheel was completely off the car, so that means he's out the session. The race winner from last time out in Britain out of the session, and will not be improving on a 1:25.9, and that could lay him actually into a little bit of a disadvantage, to be honest, out on track. A CR7 responds, and that was unexpected. He comes across the line, a Beauty Boy as well, coming across the line on a set of mediums. He goes 18th, 1:26.9, but he's ahead of Cam. Cam's a 10th down, coming in towards Spoon at this stage, but CR7, the Portuguese man, now out on top. TDB in second, and LMN in third, with halfway through qualifying. Go on, Cam invalidates, coming through Spoon.
We've also got Giannis just on the exit of Spoon. Just going to pinch a little bit of slipstream off Noisy. That might have just hindered him a little bit more than actually helped him. He is over a 10th up though, as he comes now towards the Casino Triangle. Let's see how he gets on. Locking up there on the front right through the final corner. What's it going to be for the man in the Scuderia? It's going to be a 26.2.
Yeah, not a bad lap time there at all. Funky Chicken is off on a lap, but he is not going to be improving at all coming through the first sector. Wesker's a 10th up through the first sector as well. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody further on a lap. Just looking at Matt Tibos's time, actually. He went up into 8th, 1:26.1.
Magnus is off at the top of them lot.
And he just came off a lap, I think, as well. If I'm not mistaken, he's going to recover the car. There's a Ferrari flying through shot. That's Tionis. He's off a lap time as well. But Magnus, I should say, off coming through Dunlop.
And we got Jorg, who's on the lap as well. I'm not sure if you spotted something.
Yeah, he nearly spun again, did Magnus. But Jorg's 2 tenths up through the first sector, a sub 31 first sector.
Brilliant first sector from Jorg as we come into the hairpin. A lot of yellow flags are out for me in the second and third sector, and you'd love to see a good old yellow flag every now and then.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually gone. There's a yellow flag coming through sector 1 for me, and now the track is pretty much clear. Jorg's 2 tenths up though on this lap, 126.1. He's ahead of Magnus by 7,000 a second. He's 2400ths off the back of Matt Tibos. But his first sector, laying it up there with the likes of Magnus towards the top end of the field. 2.5 tenths up, coming through the middle sector. Where will that put him? Around 5th. At this stage, Jorg needs a very good final sector. It's only 18 seconds long, but he now comes through the final couple of corners, through the Casio triangle for the final time. On this lap time, certainly, Jorg coming across the line. It's not going to be top, but he goes 7th, just behind Isotopic, and he actually lost a bit of time rather than gained it in that final sector. And Jorg is 7th. Noisy, though, was just just improved as well. How's that for timing? LMN, Nolan, and Noisy. 3 drivers separated by 3,000ths of a second.
It is incredibly close between those three, and it's going to take some effort. I think we're going to see a lot of people in the 0.8 region when they finally get that lap hooked up in the final runs. As I'm on board with Mad Jonas as he comes to the middle sector. Actually, I think he's backed out.
Yeah.
Yes, he has. And AJ also backing out as well. So I think everyone now in the pits, apart from Ryan, who's in the S's right now, coming up Dunlop Curve.
Yep, through Dunlop Curve he comes. The Brit out on track. Of course, he had a 3-second time, but which held him back for 5th position. Out on track to 31.2. Through the first sector, it's not that quick from Ryan, but you don't have to be quick around here to try and get a consistent lap in Japan. CR7 out on top, TDB second, LMN in third at this stage in qualifying with 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go. With Ryan now coming through past the MotoGP circuit. The MotoGPs used to run around here, of course, in Suzuka, and now comes through Spoon, and this double left-hander which can catch quite a few people out, especially if you've got a very unstable setup on the car. Out of 14, now running up the hill in towards turn number 15. 18 seconds pretty much from this point onwards. Ryan in the middle sector responds, but it's 2 tenths down through the middle sector. And yeah, Ryan now coming through the final couple of corners. He's got Nolan on just about to start a lap ahead of him, and Ryan now coming through the final couple of corners out on track, and he dives it into the pit lane. Didn't really look a confident lap there from Ryan at all.
I mean, you saw in the SS, he just wasn't feeling it at all. He just wasn't hooking it up. But let's see how his teammate comes on it. The big thing about this track, if you hook up the S's, it's so satisfying. You find a lot of time in this. I believe you spotted something.
Mad Jonas is 5 tenths up coming through the middle sector. Very good improvement in this middle sector for Mad Jonas, and Jonas now coming through the final couple of corners. This is going to be well up there actually. Jonas comes across the line, goes 8th. Found another 2.5 tenths in that final sector, and Mad Jonas comes in. If he got his first sector right, that could have been towards the top end of the field. Mad Jonas might be reserved, but goodness me, give him a full-time seat just off that middle sector and final sector alone. He goes 8th.
Well, right now I can say that Nolan is over a 10th up in sector 1 with following on board with him as he comes through Spoon on the exit, keeping it all valid, and you love to see it when they keep it valid through there. All about the exit out of Spoon.
This is quick.
Gain your time, and he's over 2 tenths up.
It's not enough though. I don't think it's enough theoretically to take Paul at this stage, but he's only got the final sector to go through the Casio triangle. I think that run coming out of turn 17's just cost him, if I've got to be honest. Nolan comes across the line, and it did cost him 25.7. It wasn't the greatest exit out the corner whatsoever, and he goes 3rd. A very good lap nonetheless, but that final sector, that Casio triangle, cost him.
Yeah, and the Casio triangle it's very difficult to get nailed. You kind of want to almost, half cut it on the inside and then half cut it on the exit as well. It's like really want to be attacking the curbs through there. They can really settle as Hapuli Boy. 8 tenths up in the middle sector.
Absolutely flying through the middle sector. I thought Jonas was on a good lap. I'd say, well, Beauty Boy might be right up there. Beauty Boy, the Finn, really taking the thin line, coming through the final corner, goes 8th behind Jorgen ahead of Jonas. Good lap there by Beauty Boy, and finds nearly a second on that lap time. Very impressive stuff indeed. Nolan is on a lap, but he's down actually, and Cam is on a lap time now, running down in towards the hairpin, and he's the first out on track to set his final lap.
Yep, 3 times up on his sector. 1 time I just noticed if 3 times 700 and 1000 to be exact. There we go, photographic memory.
Better than my memory, if I've got to be honest. Cam coming through the final couple of corners in this middle sector and then running up in towards 130R, the fastest corner on the track. He has got a car ahead of him, but he's 9 tenths up. This is a really good improvement currently from Cam. If he gets a good run out of Casio Triangle, he's going to be challenging the likes of Nolan and LMN, possibly for 3rd position. Really good exit coming out of Casio Triangle. Coming through now the final corner, Cam comes across the line, and he goes 4th ahead of LMN. A very good lap, over a second improvement on that lap. Comes to show, mediums to the softs really do work around here, as we have got drivers on a lap as well. Ryan is on a lap, and Matt Tibos looks like he's furthest on. He is coming through the hairpin, or just on the exit of the hairpin. He's a 10th down through that first sector, but he's taking the thin line run up in towards Spoon.
Yep, let's see what his entry and exit out of the Spoon is going to be like. Very good on the entry, but the big lock up there. Actually comes with the second part of Spoon. Not the best of exits, but we'll see if he's managed to claw some time back in the middle sector, and he has. He's a 10th and a half up, so here we go now towards the Casino Triangle on the brakes. Big old lock up.
Don't think this is a good lap. Comes across the line again. Casio Triangle just seems to be catching people out. I think 25.9. He just basically put into another gear. I think it was up into 4th gear halfway through the corners. A yellow flag in sector 2, or just on the exit of sector 2. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that might be her Purely Boy that is off. No, it's not. It is the other McLaren. It's TDB that's off.
That's unfortunate for TDB, because he was looking to take the fight for pole position. Ryan finding a lot of time in the final sector. He was only up at the middle sector split by 1,000th of a second. So all that time in the final sector there for Ryan.
But I tell you what, Mike, here comes CR7 to absolutely obliterate the field at 125.3. How do you like them apples out on track? CR7 with an absolute electric lap time. LMN is invalidated, noisy invalid as well. Matibos not improving, Jorg is not improving. Vettel is 2 tenths up coming through the middle sector. Magnus is 2 tenths up, but he's invalid coming out through the final corner. He nearly crashes it. In fact, he does crash it in towards the pit lane. Jonas is on lap time as well. He's 4 tenths up. The Ferrari now coming through the final couple of corners out on track. Vettel is just in front of him, and he's crashed coming into the pit wall. We just saw that just ahead, and Jonas comes across the line to go into the top 10. He goes 10th with a 125.956. That, though, I think is the end of qualifying. I think we've got AJ not on the lap. That is the end. CR7 out on top, obliterates the field by 0.3 of a second. TDB in the end in second, no improvement found, and Nolan in third, with Cam fourth and LMN running off the top 5. Looking further down the field though, Ryan all the way down to Jorg, and adding her beauty board, that's what, 6 drivers covered by less than a 10th.
Not only that, I mean, look at it from Cam all the way down to Sway. That's 2 tenths separating 4th all the way down to 15th. Second
down to 20th is separated by, if I get my maths right, less than 0.7 of a second out on track.
Well, I mean, entire grid separated by less than a second.
Shouldn't take it away from CR7 though. That man there in the Haas is out on top at the end of qualifying here in Japan, and a fantastic result from the Portuguese man out on track, and we'll see run through the final grid order. CR7 out on top, TDB though with a 5-second penalty in second with that collision with his teammate Puli Boy. That of course will get investigated, I'm sure. It means Nolan, Cam, LMN, Noisy and Ryan will jump up second up to 6th. TDB will then start 7th. Isotopic is 8th, Matt Tibos in 9th, Jonas in 10th, Jorgen 11th, a Beauty Boy will drop down to 17th. That means Jonas, Vettel, Sway, Magnus and Wesker will start ahead of him. A Beauty Boy down to 17th, Funky Chicken in 18th, Callboy 19th, and AJ rounding off the top 20 out on track. And in fact, Callboy picked up a 5-second penalty as well. So he is right at the back of the field, the Irishman, and he's going to have to try and do it the hard way. Luckily, not a Haas first and last.
Yeah, so the one thing that I was going to bring up as well, that TDB put in the stream, Callboy brake checked him, and it caused a Constantino effect with TDB picking up the penalty, and then of course Hipuli Boy.
Yeah, saying the penalty obviously is a bit BS, and I totally understand that, to be honest, especially because we only caught on board. I only saw the two McLarens, if I've got to be honest, on the mini-map on the right-hand side. So I thought immediately that they might have made a bit of contact out on track, but that clarifies it. So I'm sure there will be an investigation into that. There may be a penalty going one way or another for any of the drivers involved in that incident. Maverick coming in the chat as well, saying go on the relentless boys, and Zhao CR7 with a muscle emoji. Definitely supporting our pole man out on track. And remember, 5.8 kilometers in length awaiting these guys out on track. C3, C2 and C1 compound tires are available, softs, mediums and the hards, and we'll talk about strategy in just a second. But the formation lap now is about to begin, and hopefully you are now buckled up, ready to go. 27 laps. My last commentary around here of course was on Tuesday, but before that it was League of Europe a couple of weeks ago, and that race in League of Europe proved to be an absolute cream cracker.
Yeah, of course it was. Noisy and LMN getting disqualified from the formation lap. Not what you like to see. But yeah, this track is always right on the ragged edge. You know, it's so difficult here to overtake. Every lap you are pushing the boundaries to get the laps together.
Funky Chicken apparently has got this and next lap invalidated. It's got a glitch on his end. I wonder if that's going to affect maybe the lobby. I don't think anybody rejoined, left and rejoined within the session. Funky Chicken, Alan Tracky's under his own volition. I don't see any of this and next lap invalidated on our end. So I think I'd be safe in saying he's fine. But obviously, from a driver's perspective, they're the guys out on track. We're only the commentators, so we can only see half the story really out on track. But if that's a glitch, that's a very weird glitch. Oh, and he meant in qualifying. So, no wonder. I'm going absolutely doolally.
Yeah, unfortunate, especially at the last stages of qualifying. You never want to see it at this next lap invalidation. But let's have a look at the tyre selection outside of the top 10. Everyone on the medium compound tyres.
I'm not surprised by that at all, to be honest. Set of mediums to a set of hards, or maybe even to a set of soft compound tyres, because this is actually quite a low degradation circuit when you actually come to it. Normally from about lap 6, lap 7 is where the soft compound tyres are going to be pitting in. And the mediums will probably last over the halfway stage. Anybody I would have said on the set of hards would get a one-stop onto a set of softs going. But it really depends on the tyre wear around here. Tyre wear is about 4 or 5% a lap, both on the softs and the mediums. If you are more cautious with your tyre wear in the early stages of the race, the AWS pit graphic comes up with a pit stop strategy of lap 9 to 11, 2-stop lap 8 to 11, and then lap 16 to 19, I think that was. But we are just moments away from with the final cars coming around the final corner. Mike, I'm going to come across to you. Who's your top 3?
I'm going to go with Cam for the win. I'm going to go TDB second and CR7 on the final spot of the podium.
I'll say it now, Ryan's going to win. I think Ryan's going to win. This race is made for him. He's down in 6th. Watch out for him under the start. Hopefully we'll get a better camera than this. 5 red lights that are going out here in Division 2 for round 2 of the championship, and it's lights out. And away we go, and CR7 gets a very good start. My God, TDB got an electric start. My God, he's already passed 3 of them. Down in towards turn 1, and TDB could be looking for 3rd position. CR7 holds the lead from Nolan in 2nd, Cam in 3rd, but my God, TDB, if he didn't get a jump start there, I don't know what is. But he's up into 4th. Ryan in 5th in the side-by-side action further down the field. AJ and her beauty board, Matt Tibos and Noisy going side-by-side there slightly as well, with Vettel in behind. Magnus is round, coming through the S section through turn 5. He will recover the car, I'm sure. Wesker has also had a little bit of a collision with the beauty boy. He's dropping down a couple of positions as well. Jorg overtaken on the inside down in towards Degner 1. CR7 though is out in front by 5.5 tenths of a second, running into the hairpin for the first time. Nolan in 2nd, Cam in 3rd. Let's just speak about TDB. He got an absolute electric launch off the start, and he's right on the back of Cam.
Yeah, and I believe our biggest loser at the start there was Noisy. He's all the way down in 9th at the moment.
He is, and I'm trying to look at the gap instead of the position gains out on track. And yeah, Noisy has lost 4 positions. Element's lost 3, to be honest, as well. Out on track, we'll get the interval timings back up there. Wesker and AJ still fighting side by side. Noisy on the back of Matt Tibos, running in towards 130R as well. Vettel right on the back of Jonas, the 2 newbies going at it, and Noisy tries to look down the inside of Matt Tibos. That was never going to work. Send the car into a spin. He's actually not lost any positions at all, and hardly lost any time. Jonas getting caught wide, coming through is now Cam, right on the back of Nolan actually, and this is for, TDB I should say, right on the back of Cam. Cam now under a lot of pressure, running down in towards turns 1 and 2. They stay as they are though. There's CR7 leading Nolan in 2nd. Cam getting caught on the outside curb on P3. Looks a bit of an unstable setup, if I've got to be honest. Watch out for that as the race goes on. TDB though, all over the back of Cam at this early stage. Seriously impressive first lap from him.
Yeah, obviously with what happened in qualifying, he's definitely trying to make up for the 5th place grid drop, and he's doing a fine job at the moment, currently in 4th place. I think he might have picked up a 1-0 there on the exit of the 2nd Degner, and
Funky Chicken's going side by side with Wesker, trying to go up the hill in towards the hairpin and trying to go down the inside. That was AJ, but Funky Chicken doesn't get the move done. Wesker's still 16th, and AJ's actually lost it coming out the hairpin, recovers the car. Don't think there's any damage on that car if I'm not mistaken. I can't see any as he comes through camera shot, as AJ now will get a better idea here. Yeah, he just lost it on the exit of the curb, and he's still in 19th position as a result of that mistake. CR7 0 leading, Nolan 2nd, Cam in 3rd still.
Yeah, and I just want to bring it to attention at the moment. The ERS usage, Cam, 20% worse off than the likes of Nolan and CR7 right now, and TDB a little bit off that. We got Ryan, who's trying to use a bit of ERS now to try and stay within that DRS window of TDB, but he's gonna have to try and close up to the back of that McLaren as soon as possible. Otherwise, he'll be left in the dust.
Wesker into the pit lane, onto the hard component as he goes. Left side end plate damage on the car as well, and he's going to get that front wing change. So Wesker is into the pit lane, 20th position now down for him, and it's going to be a long road back. He needs a safety car ideally to try and get back into this one. CR7 though has broken the toe to Nolan. It's over a second now the gap. Nolan in 2nd, Cam in 3rd, and TDB in 4th. And yeah, you mentioned it, TDB and Cam actually running quite the same in terms of the ERS. I've always said it with Cam though, out on track. His ERS usage, he really struggles in terms of his ERS usage out on track. I'm not sure whether he uses it manually or automatic or whatever it might be. He just degradates it away quite a lot out on track, and if there's any lesson to learn around here, do not consume your ERS as much as possible. He's going to use it down the straight here, but he's got to consume it as much as possible, because there is 27 laps in this race, and it cannot be won now.
Absolutely. I mean, of course he'll save ERS when he's in the pit lane. Of course, we don't know what kind of strategies these guys are going for. I expect to see people in anywhere from lap 7 to 9 for a set of the hards, but if you're going to go onto the mediums, I think around lap 10, 11 if you're going to soft medium.
Yep, Jorgen Mad Jonas, I should say, going side by side, and Vettel's going to go side by side with as well. And the two newbies are going to absolutely swamp Jorg. Right on the outside goes Vettel, trying to be forced off track there by Jorgen. I think he just broke slightly too late for the corner there. Vettel stays in 13th, Jorg stays in 12th, out on track as well. Callboy right on the back of Funky Chicken though in the meantime, but further up the field, TR7 leading by a second, dead on. Just made a slight mistake, I think, running up the hill in towards Dunlop Curve. Nolan in second and Cam in third. TDB though pressuring all over the back as a Pewdie Boy pressurises Vettel dead and through deck the one. Job done for Pewdie Boy. He is through and he's into 13th. Looks like Vettel might have made a mistake there with Sway right on the back of him.
Yeah, definitely Vettel there completely backing out from being down the inside there, and you know, it's a smart corner to back out of. If you're going to back out of any corner, that one would be one to back out of.
Callboy and Funky Chicken going side by side as well. He looks to the inside line, running in towards Spoon. Do not try a Vettel Verstappen-like move through here, and he doesn't. Callboy stays in 17th, Funky Chicken in 16th. Cambo try to get onto the back of Nolan, lap 4 out of 27. I will literally break away for a couple of minutes. I'll leave you in the capable hands. Actually, I'm not going to leave you in the capable hands because of Beauty Boy and Jorg side by side running through 130R. Now in towards the Casio triangle, and Jorg is just about fighting through. And look at Vettel in behind as well. I'm not going to go for my well-earned break, but Jorg in 12th position. Vettel now is going to be in 12th position as Jorg has absolutely been swamped. He could be swamped by 3 of them. A Beauty Boy and Sway trying to get onto the back. And in fact, they stay as they are. Vettel is up to 12th. Jorg back down to 13th. Out on track. Really good racing out on track. But my God, almighty. CR7 leads, Nolan second and Cam in third. And I'll leave you with a battle for second on board with Cam.
Yeah, so Cam at the moment, he's maintaining that gap with Nolan at the head in second, who just appears to be losing a bit of time in sector 1, especially the CR7 for the race lead. And the longer this goes, the more it'll favour the likes of Cam. We see TDB there with a 3-second time penalty, so already on the back foot is the McLaren, as Nolan now dipping within that 1-second window, as CR7 just holding that gap. He needs to just extend it, and what a run out of Spoon there for relentless Nolan. Absolutely cruising away from Cam on exit, and TDB may be thinking possibly he needs to get past this Mercedes sooner rather than later, as Nolan will definitely have DRS this time around. But yeah, out of the Casino Triangle, Nolan just does not have the best of runs out there, and he loses a bit of time to CR7 out of the final corners. And oh my God, full course safety car, Vettel's out. Vettel's out, where's that to? Oh my God, it's on the final corner. Vettel out of this race is a full course safety car, and Funky Chicken AJ into the pits. Set of hards going on those two, I can tell you for shoot. And this is very interesting now. Everyone on the softs for sure now will be into the pits. Set of hard tyres. Medium runners, what do? Do they come in and put on the hards? Time will tell, but Vettel out of this race. Very unfortunate for the debutant here, and lap 6 we have a safety car.
What have I missed? There's a safety car.
Yeah, Vettel, I wasn't on board with him, but Vettel on the exit, the final corner, his wheel completely off. I'm not sure what happened to him, but Vettel out coursing the full course safety car.
Ah, such a shame for Vettel out on track, of course, his debut here tonight. But CR7 leading the way, Nolan in second, Cam in third, TDB fourth, Ryan in fifth. The set of soft compound and tyre runners you would imagine would come into the pit lane at this point. The set of mediums, I think, should just stay out there and possibly try and disrupt the guys on a set of soft compound tyre who will come into the pit lane probably on this lap. It just depends though, because we've got a situation where both Ferraris are going to double stack possibly, both Renaults are going to double stack, and then the rest are fine because they're in their single pit box out on track. We'll see what CR7 does. He's straight into the pits. Nolan in, Cam in, TDB in. Ryan is going to come in and he's backing up Isotopic enough so he doesn't get held up in the pit lane, and that is rightfully done by Ryan. Everyone is pretty much into the pit lane. Beauty Boy stays out. Beauty Boy does stay out. Magnus looks like he is coming into the pit lane as well, and everyone else on the set of hard. Funky Chicken and AJ will catch up, and they're going to be the real gainers out on track. But a lot of pit stops and a bit of double stacking.
Yeah, Ryan almost timed the double stack to absolute perfection. Booker held in the pits as the car's passing in the pit lane, and he's chucked on a set of the mediums, as has Nolan and Matt Tibos and LMN.
I wonder if they know something but we don't towards the end of the race. Maybe rain in the offing towards the end of the race. I mean, it's blue sky sunshine now, but a lot can change in just a couple of laps on this game here. But what that does do is leave a Beauty Boy out in front. So literally what I said between the set of mediums staying out there, yeah, really did not work, did a Beauty Boy. Leading the way, the out on track. He will be the one to try and disrupt CR7 and Nolan out on track, and he has got enough of a gap at this stage. It looks like everyone though, CR7 and the likes, he's going quite slow obviously on this compound tyre. It looks like he's sticking still to the delta time, if I've got to be honest. Obviously gaining now, but a Beauty Boy's pulling away, and he's under the safety car. And it just looks to me as if CR7 might be having a might be sticking to the delta time out on track, which I've never seen before under the safety car when they came into the pit lane.
Unfortunately now he's starting to close up, thankfully.
Yeah.
So he definitely doesn't have that delta anymore. But yeah, interesting pickup there from you, James.
I can only think that because obviously we had that glitch I know that Funky Chicken was on about within qualifying. Obviously he picked up the list next lap invalidated in qualifying. I wonder if I wonder actually, because these guys put it under the safety car, if the delta time still stays out underneath the safety car, and then this lap when they come across the line will free them up to catch onto the back of the queue, or if CR7's just taking it easy, I don't know. Comes across the line now, and he's still going quite slow. So I think CR7 is trying to hold up the pack here. He's going to get onto the back of these guys about halfway through the lap. But a Beauty Boy out on track. If CR7 is not really careful, he's now going to join onto the back of him. But if he wasn't really careful, he could have let a Beauty Boy get a free jump, and you don't want to do that to the fin.
Well, not only that, I mean, if he's not close enough to the car ahead, he can pick himself up a penalty. Yeah. For that, so it's a good job he's got onto the back of Beauty Boy now. The interesting thing that I'm looking at here is Nolan on those mediums. He's going to be rapid compared to CR7. Of course, you got Matt Tibos. What's his pace going to be like versus Cam and TDB ahead? LMN on the back of Noisy, who's currently in AI mode, is Noisy. And then Ryan, obviously losing out in the pit stop phase, is getting held. Not necessarily down to the double stack with Nolan, just the cars going past him in the pit lane, very busy, and it cost him a lot of places.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see, of course, how these guys and a set of mediums are going to try and react to the safety car start. I'd be very confident in saying safety car will be coming in this lap. Jorger's on the back, along with Cowboy on the back of the safety car queue. So all 19 drivers on the back of the queue, essentially, out on track. There are a few gaps further down the field, as I thought there was a little bit of end plate damage, actually. For either Cam or TDB there. It looked like a little bit of end plate damage actually came off. They were quite close to each other. But I think they've got away scot-free. It might have just been my eyesight, might have been one of the shadows out on track of the cars. Who knows? But I thought I saw a little bit of damage on one of those cars. But down in towards 130, our safety car is going to be coming in around about now, I hope. There we are. So I mistimed it. Safety car in the lap, and now a Beauty Boy is the virtual Burt Marlander, and now he is the virtual safety car out on track. CR7 and Nolan will be trying to react to this start. We're a third of the way through here in Japan. Get ready, get the popcorn at the ready. I think it's going to go off big time here. A Beauty Boy now through the final corner. Oh, it's actually CR7 tapped the back of him there. CR7 tapped the back of him, and he's got a 5-second penalty. That was a very light turn, for goodness me. And look at Cam. Cam's into the pit lane. Cam is into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he got forced into the pit lane there. Nolan is now side by side with TDB and Matt Tibos as well on the back. I'm not sure what happened with Cam. I'm not sure if he's put on the wrong compound of tyres at all. Out on track, Isotopic running side by side with Ryan. Ryan forcing him out wide. Coming through turn 1, we're back underway and it's kicked off big time. Her Beauty Boy leads the way. CR7 second, Nolan third. Cam's got onto a set of mediums. Was that timed for him to come into the pit lane in the safety car? Or was he forced in? Because it got very, very tight towards the exit of the pit, the entrance into the pit lane.
I think he picked up damage. I think he picked up maybe orange wing damage, because along with the top 4 right now, he also picked up a 5-second time penalty. So Matt Tibos at the moment, effectively our net race leader, just on the fact that he doesn't have a penalty to his name. We'll see how the race goes, but yeah, I think Cam might have just had quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, somebody else has picked up damage there is Ryan. He's got his left side end plate completely off on that car, and he's running out wide, so obviously he's made a collision, possibly with Isotopic when we saw them running down in towards turn 1. It could have been that. TDB right on the back of Nolan. Nolan trying to get onto the back of CR7, and CR7 trying to get onto the back of a Beauty Boy, but those mediums are going to last quite a long way now out on track, and the Finn will be under pressure from the Portuguese man out on track. But we are about to come on to lap 10 of CR7. Picks up his first 3-second time penalty of tonight, and that is going to cost him. He had a 5-second penalty, of course, into the pit lane. Magnus has spun coming to the Casio triangle. He's getting that car going as Ryan is into the pit lane. Nolan looking down the inside of turn 1 on CR7. Look down the inside of turn 2. Trying to force the issue. It's wheel to wheel as they come out through turn 2, and CR7 holds on for second, Nolan third. Nolan didn't want to try and move like he did in League of Europe F2 on Monday night, where he essentially forced his way through on the car ahead. Doesn't want to do that, otherwise he'll land himself a penalty. Nolan though right on the back of CR7, and CR7 a shocking exit coming up towards Degler 1, and now Nolan right on his coattails. But all of this battling, CR7 just seems to be under pressure a lot from Nolan in behind, and all of that's just letting the Beauty Boy just nick away. It's Nolan down the inside into the hairpin, and that wasn't a forceful move at all. That's a beautiful move by Nolan through, and he's into second. He is through on CR7, and the mediums coming into play with TDB and Matt Tibos chasing down.
Yep, that was absolutely crucial for Nolan to get past CR7 there, because now he has to try and make quick work of a Beauty Boy up ahead and build this gap to not only the likes of CR7 and TDB, but Matt Tibos, I think, is the biggest threat at the moment. As TDB over the back of CR7 there.
I think AJ hit the back of Funky Chicken running down and towards 130R there. Sorry to cut in, but he tried to go basically into the back of Funky Chicken. He's trying to go now on the inside line as a Beauty Boy is out in front. Nolan in second though. Nolan pressurising a Beauty Boy running down in towards turn 1. Is this for the race? He's going to try it. Oh my god, I thought he was going to actually run him into the back. A Beauty Boy still stays in the lead of the race. Nolan again trying a little bit of a forceful move. TDB had a bit of a slide on coming through turn 1. Sway is now on through on Funky Chicken, and the Beauty Boy is slightly spun, I think, on the curb there through turn 3, and Nolan now is into the lead of the race, and a Beauty Boy second. CR7 right into the back of him, and TDB nearly caused a Constantino effect in behind, and Matt Tibos in fifth. But goodness me, I did warn you guys that I might get a little bit leery out on track, and that's what we're treated to.
Yeah, CR7 just getting a little bit too much onto the curb there, almost losing the car completely. He kept it all together, but now he's got TDB directly on the back of him, and now
there's a spinner! Noisy and LMN have had a collision. Sorry to cut in, Mike, but Noisy and LMN, I think LMN ran straight into the back of him, down in towards the straight. Isotopic is now through an LMN as a result, and Isotopic through and he's into 6th, but LMN try to go down the inside into the hairpin. I think Noisy cut him off. They both make contact. Noisy spun, he's down in 11th.
Unfortunately for Noisy, but as I was going to say, are we going to see some McLaren teamwork here to maybe get TDB ahead of CR7?
You would imagine so, to be honest, out on track, but a Beauty Boy's going to be coming back to CR7 and TDB, so it does make sense, but Beauty Boy's within DRS range to try and get Nolan. I think he'd try and prioritise to retake the race lead, rather than help his teammate at this point. They're all stuck in a DRS train. The top 5 are pulling away from Isotopic. He's dropped over a second off as AJ and Sway go side by side. We saw that battle last lap around, and AJ tries to force the issue again, coming through turn 2 on the outside line, but Sway has got the move done. He's up into 9th position. AJ tried, as he might, to try and get the move done, but the lap pressure tyres coming into play. Sway is into 9th. Chonus right on the back of Funky Chicken, and he would have thought he would have made better progress than this. He's in 13th position on that fresh set of mediums, of course, out on track as Cam bangs in the new fastest lap of the race as well. But Chonus stuck in a DRS train, and there's really no way he can try and get past unless he tries to force the moves.
Yeah, he's got to try and get through. He's got to try and get through, and we'll see if he can do it. But right now, I'm just, I don't know what's going to happen right here, because Matt Tibos, he's just there. He's just sticking on the back of these guys while they're scrapping, and the longer this goes on, the more it favours the likes of Matt Tibos, Isotopic, LMN, and Matt Jonas. Let's not forget about the debutant up in 8th place right now.
Yeah, I think he gained under the safety car as well, with a couple of guys double stacking in the pit lane, a couple of guys getting held up as well. So Mad Jonas there up into 8th. He's on the back of LMN, and they pulled 2 seconds over Sway as well, so that is crucial. TDB though right on the back of CR7. I don't think there's going to be any moves down in towards turn 1. Beauty Boy just losing the time now to Nolan. I think he'll be outside of a second, possibly next time around, but Nolan leads the way. Halfway through pretty much at this point here in Suzuka, and Nolan leads the way. Beauty Boy second, CR7 in third. I can see Noisy right on the back of AJ, just in the background of shot coming through turn 1, and again Noisy very close to the back of AJ. He's got to be careful, he doesn't want to run on the grass. Just picked up a bit of grass there. Now Tionas fighting all the way over the back of Funky Chicken, then he ran into the back of him out on track. Looking in terms of the guys out on track, in terms of the tyres, I'd say that Mad Jonas is on 0%. That is a glitch within the task system, but he should be on around about 20%, 25%, somewhere in amongst that region. He should be on that tyre, and he's in 8th position out on track. A Beauty Boy worst, of course, on the tyres, 52%. Matt Tibos, we saw in Abu Dhabi last season, where obviously he locked up quite a few times into the corner. He spun, he had an absolute disaster in Brazil as well, and he's on 25%. 25% as Cam has spun coming through the Dunlop curve. That's pretty much him now out of it. Matt Tibos though, 25% on those tyres already. That's going to be quite concerning, I think.
Yeah, Matt Tibos' tyre wear right now definitely a lot higher than those around him. The closest one to him right now in terms of tyre wear is Nolan, currently on 23% on the front left.
CR7.
Nolan, CR7 gets through on her Beauty Boy, and you gotta think that her Beauty Boy is just gonna make this easy as possible for TDB here.
And AJ's through on Sway as well, so a repeat of last lap, just the other way around. AJ through, and he's into 9th position. Sway is into 10th, Noisy right on the back as well. Cam, by the way, crashed off track through the Dunlop curve. A very slow incident, it looked like, on the mini-map. And now he is out of the race. No safety car, no VSC deployed as a result. Nolan leads the way though. CR7 in second, her Beauty Boy in third. Noisy right on the back of Sway, and Sway is under pressure. Is he going to try and face the wave of the Mexican wave in behind? That really didn't work, I'm sorry. Sway in 10th, Noisy in 11th. I don't know where I was trying to go with that one.
McLaren switch, and here goes TDB now up into 3rd place. Cam leaving the session, and what this does, I don't know how long her Beauty Boy is going to stay out, but what this will do is help out the top 3 massively, because the Beauty Boy, I don't know how much longer he's going to go on these tyres, but if he can hold up the likes of Matt Tibos, Isotopic, LMN, these guys without that 5-second time penalty, it's going to be looking good for the likes of Nolan, CR7 and TDB up ahead.
As Noisy's got through on Sway, Noisy through and he's into 10th. I think a Beauty Boy, I was going to say he was going to come into the pit lane that lap around, but he's not. Actually, he's closing in right on the back of TDB. He's not going to try and move down in towards turn 1. No, he backs off on the back of TDB. TDB stays 3rd. In the meantime, Tionas trying to make one move on Funky Chicken, and he has got the move done down in towards turn 1. He picks up a 3-second time penalty in all of that. Oh, and he's nearly spun the car. My goodness me, what a recovery by Tionas. Half spin coming through turn 2. Just stays ahead of Funky Chicken in the meantime as well, but that could have ended an absolute disaster for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm looking at the top 3 right now. look at the amount of ERS TDB has absolutely wasted compared to the top two.
As Matt Tibos has been overtaken by Isotopic, and Isotopic, obviously Matt Tibos making a mistake. He actually dives it down the inside into the hairpin. Isotopic on the outside line. They're now side by side running in towards Spoon, and the Williams lets the Ferrari go. And LMN right on the back of this as well. Mad Jonas not entirely out of this either. Mad Jonas, of course, on his debut here in TTML Division 2 tonight. He's a reserve driver, and he's in 8th position and doing a fantastic job. And he's actually on a set of hards, and you would imagine if Nolan and Isotopic and the likes would Nolan, I should say, and Matt Tibos and the likes would have to come into the pit lanes. LMN try to look for the move on Matt Tibos just ahead, but we're on board with Mad Jonas in all of this. You would imagine that the guys on a set of mediums would possibly try and extend this stint towards the end of the race. There's no really alternative otherwise. You're going to be coming in for a set of softs, and you're going to be really messing up your strategy as a result.
Yeah, so just looking at the difference at the moment between the medium and the hard compounds. Of course, we got Nolan in the race lead on the medium, CR7 on the hards. The difference at the moment is only around 3%.
Only 3%. Goodness me.
Yeah, it's only 3% between them.
Only 3% between them. Yeah, 34%, 30%. So it's actually about 4% in terms of Matt Tibos ahead of CR7. No, it's not Matt Tibos ahead. It's Nolan ahead of CR7. The task system getting me confused as normal here in Division 2. Nolan out on top. CR7 in second. TDP in third. The short of it is we've got Matt Tibos twice on the task system, and it hasn't been changed before the race. Tom, I think, is well, obviously he's not in charge of something. It's going to be Sway that's obviously in charge of the task system. Tom obviously handing control over to the division admin, so that's all on you, Sway. But I don't blame him, he's racing. And he picks up a 3-second time penalty as soon as I said that. Mad Jonas right on the back of LMN. On the back, running through 130, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to the move. And LMN looks on Matt Tibos. Oh, Mad Jonas into the back, and Jonas and Sway side by side as well. Jonas through on Sway, and he's into P10, but actually P11 that was. The Pewley boy now dropping down. He's into the pit lane, finally out on track, and actually we saw Mad Jonas run into the back of LMN there, running through the bump, coming through turn 18. And LMN stays in 6th, Mad Jonas in 7th, Jorg right on the back of Callboy.
Yeah, and now we're going to see just how good these hards are going to be versus the mediums, because we got Isotopic right now. He's got 1.3 seconds to TDB up ahead. TDB's got no ERS to really defend with, so Isotopic gets within that DRS range. You got to favour him just to get straight past into turn 1. But we got to see this gap between these top two and Isotopic.
Yeah, Nolan obviously, as York's picked up a 3-second time, but Nolan leading the way, CR7 in second. I honestly think that we're at the crossover period between the hards and the mediums. I think CR7 is looking quicker than Nolan. Yeah, he's in DRS range out on track, but I think he's just looking a shade quicker now on that set of hards compared to Nolan on a set of mediums. It's normally between 5 to 10% where the delta time would come. And Nolan is 7.5 tenths ahead, but CR7 this lap around has just been nicking into that advantage just slightly, and Nolan, for me, just looks like he's going to come under a little bit of pressure out on track, and CR7 is right in the mix to try and win this.
Yeah, so just looking at the gap between Nolan and Isotopic, for example, that's 4.5 as they cross the line. We'll come back to that at the end of the lap and see what the crossover actually is, because they're both in relative cleanish air. As we've got Jorg on the back of Cowboy and Magnus right in there as well, the Division 4 champion over the back of Cowboy and Jorg.
Yep, coming through the S section, Callboy in 14th, Jorg 15th, Magnus in 16th, a Pewley boy on a set of soft combatant tires. I don't think he's got any sort of chance to try and catch back up to these guys that are ahead of him out on track, as AJ picks up a 3-second penalty coming through Dector 1. Nolan leading the way, CR7 in second. Nolan just pulling away slightly on this lap. It's about a 2/10 gain currently, but Nolan will be hoping to try and gain on the back of CR7. 60% of ERS, Nolan on 25% of ERS. CR7 a lot more back compared to Nolan in front. TDB though in third. Looks to me though, TDB's getting his pace on. He's in clear air out on track, It's now 2.1 seconds. It was 2.5 last time around. TDB in with a chance of the win as well.
I mean, maybe, but the thing is that the problem for TDB is not only does he have that 5-second time penalty, he also has a 3-second time penalty to his name.
Oh, Jonas is going side by side with Funky Chicken. Sorry to cut in. Jonas on the outside line. Whoa, what a move. Ran the outside. He actually made a mistake coming out of Spoon. But Jonas is through and he's into 11. He gets DRS as well. And he's going to pull away. Jonas with an insane move. Going around the outside of the Casio triangle. He had that pretty much all sealed and done, Funky Chicken. And Funky Chicken has just been done for chips.
Yeah, and now we got Matt Tibos on the back of Isotopic here for P4, so maybe it's not over. Maybe the crossover hasn't quite happened yet. Looking at the tyre telemetry though, Matt Tibos on 50% already on those mediums.
And lagging as well out on track is Matt Tibos. LMN in 6th position. Yeah, Matt Tibos getting second wind, I would say, on those tyres out on track. Obviously, these guys on a set of mediums may be going in towards puncture territory towards the end of the race, which could be quite vital for these guys out on track to try and get to the end. Beauty Boy, by the way, was 17 seconds down off the back of Magnus. It's now 14.7. Don't rule him out to try and catch Magnus at the end of this race. Nolan though leading, CR7 in 2nd, TDP in 3rd. Mad Jonas though on the back of Element, trying to get up onto the back of both him and Matt Tibos ahead for 7th position, and he's been really impressing me in terms of his debut tonight. Well around the pace of the Division 2 guys. Speaking of well around the pace of the Division 2 guys, here comes Jonas again on the outside line into the Casio triangle. Sway just lets him go, and Jonas is through, and he's into 10th position. A very late braking move. He's going to get DRS, I think, as a result of that. He hasn't, and Sway very much let him through there, but now Noisy right on the back. Matt Tibos on the back of Isotopic, just saw that move dead in towards Thermal. Matt Tibos is through, and he's into 4th position on Isotopic, and Noisy's through on AJ, and he's up into 8th position as well. Jonas hanging on from Sway, and Sway didn't have enough fight in that car to try and repass Jonas. So 3 position gains, Matt Tibos up to 4th, Noisy up to 8th, Jonas up to 10th.
Yeah, and now it's crunch time for Matt Tibos because his tyre weight, I mean, he's on 56% right now on both front tyres. Surely he's going to be risking a punch at the end of this race. I mean, for Nolan, he's about 5% better off.
He's 5% better off, but he's the 2nd worst out on track compared to the guys on a set of mediums. LMN, he's on the same strategy. LMN's on the same strategy, and he's 5% less than Matt Tibos. Nolan out on track.
Yeah, 10% less than Matt Tibos. How is LMN so good on his tyre weight?
He's an absolute natural, I think, in terms of his tyre weight. He's on a set of medium compounded tyres. I think he's just been saving it up because he's stuck in this battle now behind Matt Tibos and Isotopic. He's got Mad Jonas on the back of him as well. But LMN now has got to try and close in an Isotopic. Now is the time to try and do it down in towards turn 1. I don't think, though, he's going to be close enough running down in towards turn 1. And yeah, we're going to stay as we are. Matt Tibos in 4th, Isotopic in 5th, LMN in 6th. LMN, though, just a real natural, I think, in terms of his tyre wear out on track. Jorg is going to look to the outside line on Callboy. This could be a great move. Around the outside, coming through turn 1. Now through turn 2. On the inside line. Jorg surely going to get this. Callboy's not backing off. Oh, on this contact. Coming through the S section. AJ overtaken by Jonas as well. Jorg is into the gravel. And that 2x2 going was never... that 2x2 side-by-side action was never going to work.
Yeah, and Callboy...
he's heading through.
Back through.
Good sportsmanship. He would have picked up a penalty, I think. I think he would have picked up a penalty if he didn't let him back through. But that's really good sportsmanship there from the Irishman. And that's what we like to see here in TTML Division 2. Callboy letting and retaking that 16th position. Obviously, Jorg up into 15th as a result of that collision. But Callboy making contact with him, realising his mistake, looking to the inside line. He should have just let Jorg go, and I'm sure he'll say that in the comments in Discord. But that, by the way, has let a Purely Boy back into play. He's 3 turns off on the back as Mad Jonas is right on the back of LMN, running in towards the Casio triangle, tried to look to the outside line, didn't get the move done.
Yeah, Mad Jonas looking very good here on his debut. He's definitely mixing it up there as he sees the red blinking light of the Red Bull ahead, showing that he has no ERS to really defend against. But the one thing he's going to have to do is try and put Element off, get him out of that DRS range of Isotopic ahead, because if he does that, he can easily overtake him.
Yeah, Element's tyre wear is the same as Noisy, and Noisy's 2 positions behind him. Isotopic ahead's on better tyre wear than him. Matt Tibos, though, the real Matt Tibos, in the task system in 4th, on 66% worth of tyres. Now, puncture territory's from about 70% on this game. I do not see him getting to the end of the race unless he pulls off a Bullet Boy last season in TTML Division 1 and he has 92% on those tyres and still somehow gets to the end of the race. But round here, punctures can happen, they will happen, and I think Matt Tibos is going to get one.
Yeah, I think Matt Tibos is definitely the most likely to get a puncture. Of course, the one thing at the moment with Matt Tibos is that because his tyres, they're definitely going off. You can see how much time he is losing to the guys ahead.
And again,
what this has done is taken off any advantage that Isotopic and Element have of jumping Nolan, CR7 and, well, I was going to say TDB, but he's got 11 seconds of time pens. So any chance of those two, Isotopic and Element, from taking this win on penalties?
Yeah, no, those are the penalties out on track. Nolan on 5 seconds, CR7 on 11, TDB on 11, Matt Tibos on 3. Isotopic at this stage in the race, he's 6.4 seconds off the back of Nolan. It's not entirely out of the question. If Matt Tibos makes a mistake, Isotopic will then be left in clear air. He can then close in on the back of TDB as AJ is spun. AJ is spun, coming through as he's retired out on track as well. I'm not sure if he's retired the car out on track. If that was a spin, it looks like the car is stationary and he's crashed it. AJ's crashed it, I think, on the exit.
Yeah, and he's left. Oh, actually, his car's moving.
He's retired out on track then. I don't think that'll be a safety car if he's done that. Obviously, retired on track is a little bit illegal within TTML, but for AJ, that is his race pretty much now run. Out on track, look at the battle for the lead. CR7 right on the back of Nolan.
And for Nolan, he's going to be hoping that... actually, I don't even think Nolan's really going to be fighting this too much. You can see the gap to him and Isotopic. I think he's just going to let this one go.
Mad Jonas was going side by side there, just in the background. Mad Jonas was side by side with Element, and now Noisy trying to make it with Element as well. CR7's through, and he's into the lead of the race. Nolan in second, TDB in third, Matt Tibos in fourth. The race has now picked up its pace slightly, and the gap now 7.1 seconds between Isotopic and CR7 out on track, and that will mean Isotopic at this stage in the race, he still could be on for this race win. That gap is 6.6 seconds roughly out on track, and Isotopic could be in with a chance of making it a double win out on track because of the lack of penalties that he's picked up.
Yeah, obviously right now he needs to get within 5 seconds of Relentless Nolan, currently in second place. You can see Nolan's tyres are completely gone off. 70% on his front left. We got Matt Tibos right now on 75%.
He's in trouble.
Front left.
He's in trouble. He just ran wide there coming through Spoon. And if there's any tyre that's going to puncture, it would be the front left. But we've seen it where other tyres normally puncture as well. Look at Matt Jonas. Yeah, look at him. Right on the back of Isotopic. He's now on the back. But now Isotopic is going to try and lunge for the move. But actually Matt Jonas, they're going to be caught in a bit of a Constantine effect. Matt Tibos is going so slowly. Isotopic is going to have to try and force the move down in the inside of Casio Triangle. Not quite close enough. Matt Tibos in fourth position. His tyres are giving way. Matt Jonas gives the bunk up there to Isotopic. Isotopic makes a mistake. But now He's going to get a sensational run down in towards turn 1. He's going to sail around the outside, surely here. Isotopic round the outside through turn 1, now through turn 2, and that is absolutely brilliant if he can pull it off. Matt Tibos though is ahead. Matt Tibos stays in 4th position. He is fighting hard. Isotopic slim chances of winning this race are now disappearing. He's held up in traffic, and Matt Tibos in 4th is really doing the justice to Isotopic out on track, and Matt Tibos is trying to desperately hang on to his tyres, but not only that, he's trying to desperately hang on to 4th.
Yeah, and Nolan right now is absolutely dropping off as well.
Isotopic into the back of Matt Tibos. I'm not sure if there was any damage picked up, but I don't think there was. Matt Jonas now on the back. This is going to get crazy. Helter Skelter, final couple of laps. Noisy has spun on the inside line. It's very similar to what he did earlier on in the race. Magnus is up into 11th as well, by the way. I just thought I'd mention that. Matt Jonas now on the back of Isotopic. Matt Tibos, though, is under pressure. TDB right on the back of Nolan. These two stalwarts of sim racing in 2nd and 3rd. And TDB right on the back of Nolan, running in towards the Casio Triangle. CR7 now has got the advantage to try and win this race, with Matt Tibos 3 seconds worth of penalties, CR7 on 11, it's more than 8 seconds. CR7's now suddenly on for the win as TDB attacks on Nolan down the inside and towards turn 1, already done down the straight, and TDB is through. Isotopic, is he going to be close enough for a second time? On the back of Matt Tibos, his second time's a charm. He's now looking to the outside line once again. He got forced out into the marbles last time, but this time he makes it work. He is through and he's into 4th position. Matt Tibos looked to the inside line, took the thin line, didn't work. Isotopic now in clear air, and he's got what gap to catch? He's got 2 more seconds to catch on the back of CR7.
Yeah, he's got 2 seconds to catch up on...
Oh, Matt Jonas, side by side through the Dunlop curve, and he's through, and Matt Tibos is going to let these through. Has he got a puncture? Out on track he has, front left compound tyre is punctured, out on track, and Matt Tibos' tyre is punctured. Oh, and Noisy. Bad goes to worse for Noisy. He's picked up damage. Matt Tibos could not get out the way at all because of that punctured tyre. Nearly ended up at the race himself. Drama, drama, drama personified here in Japan. Nolan's tyres, by the way, 79%. His tyres could be punctured. And Jonas on 77, his tyres could be punctured as well.
Yeah, this would be absolutely heartbreaking for Nolan. Final lap of the race, it just cruise around Nolan.
Wesker's got a puncture. Wesker's got a puncture as well. He's got a front right puncture. Out on track, he's on a set of hard compounded tyres and he's made 22 laps on the set of hards. Once to the final lap, CR7 is on for the win. TDB second, Nolan in third, but Wesker has got a puncture as well out on track. We'll have to watch Nolan now on this final lap of this race. He's on 78%. He's on 80% worth of tyres. Chona's on 78. Nolan might just be good enough to try, but if that's anything said and done, Noisy has got a penalty. Matt Tibos, I thought had got double puncture out on track as well, but he hasn't, and Nolan is really struggling on the back.
Oh, Tiona's got a puncture.
Oh my god! And his front right's gone! And this is unbelievable! Tionas has now the third victim on the final lap of the race. Japan loving punctures here at this stage. Nolan, his tyres, he's punctured as well. Oh, I thought he punctured coming through the hairpin. He didn't. He was so slow coming out the hairpin. But my god, drama personified. CR7 leading the way. Ryan's just banged in the new fastest lap of the race as he does. 27.6 for him. CR7 out on track. There's yellow flag in sector 2. Jonas has spun coming through the hairpin. CR7 though is magically on for this race win out on track. This has been an absolute crazy ending to this race here in Japan. It's literally like TTML Division 1 last season. CR7 around the final corner. He was unlikely to take the win. Matt Tibos held Isotopic up and CR7 wins. 5-second penalty for an unserved stop goal. TDB in second. Nolan has actually won it out on track. How? How? He had 11 seconds.
No, it was CR7 and TDB with 11 seconds.
Oh!
Nolan just had the 5 seconds.
I thought Nolan had 11 seconds. That's what I was banking on. Nolan then has taken the win out on track. My god. CR7 in second. Isotopic. Then Matt Jonas, by the way, on his debut, he's finished 4th. out on track because of TDB's penalties. LMN in 6th, Funky Chicken 7th, Magnus in 8th, the Division 5 champ in 8th, Sway in 9th, Noisy in 10th, Jorg is 1600th of a second off on Jonas, who's made it around for 11th position in the end. A Puny Boy 13th, Wesker 14th, he punctured Ontras at a soft compound tyres, he went, Callboy 15th, Ryan in 16th, Matt Tibos, well, what could have it been for Matt Tibos if he didn't get that puncture out on track? 17th position for him. I just thought I'd mention Nolan on 83% worth of tyres on the front left, and he managed to get to the end. Matt Tibos was on less than that, he crushes him, absolute frustration, I think, coming across the line there, finishes in 17th. What could have it been for him out on track? But the winner is Nolan, driver of the day, awarded by the in-game fans. Funky Chicken, what is it with Gary trying to get into Division 2 again?
Brilliant joke, and here he is on the top step of the podium. Relentless Nolan, and I can assure you the Relentless lads are probably in the chat right now, are probably loving this.
They are probably loving this indeed, and Relentless Nolan, I actually thought he wouldn't get the win. I thought he had 11 seconds worth of penalties. Come to show what I know, out on track he had 5 seconds worth of penalty, and he took the win out on track in a dramatic renewal. The final few laps were insane in terms of how much drama was personified, but Nolan has taken the win out on track, second on the grid, up to first. CR7 in second, from first on the grid down to second. The penalties cost him in the end. Isotopic with no penalties in third. If he didn't get held up by Matt Tibos, there's no shadow of a doubt, I think, that Isotopic would have won this. Mad Jonas is in fourth, TDB in fifth, with LMN in sixth, Funky Chicken in seventh, Magnus in 8th, Sway in 9th, Noisy rounding off the top 10. We continue. Jonas with his punctured tyre in 11th, with Jorg in 12th, a Puny Boy 13th, Wesker 14th, Callboy 15th, Ryan new fastest lap of the race 27.6. He picks up the extra point in 16th. Matt Tibos, what could have it been for him in 17th? AJ and Cam and Vettel all out of the race at respective points. My god, it was like Division 1 TTML last season. And what a race, and we have got Relentless Nolan winning out on track in Japan. 2 races in, 2 different winners.
Yep, absolutely exciting prospect for the championship. I'm just getting the podium runners into the party right now. 2 seconds.
Oh, goodness me, we'll have to catch our breath. Absolutely unbelievable. Division 3 also live, by the way. They've also just ended. I'm having a look at a few of the comments as well. Nathan saying, come on Nolan, you beauty. Cam saying as well, the restart was so bad, everyone just slammed the brakes, and now I get the same glitches in PSGL where it completely pops the tyre off for a slight tap. And that's what happened to him running through the Dunlop curve. So, such a shame for Cam out on track. Nathan saying he should get the 5-second penalty removed, but you can't remove 6 seconds of track limit penalties. Yeah, that 5 seconds can be removed. The 3 seconds is picked up by the in-game, and in-game, if it awards it in-game, it normally means you've cut the corner out on track. But I believe we've only got one person here, if I'm not mistaken. That's Isotopic that has joined the party, if I'm not mistaken. Has anybody else joined? I don't think they have.
Not as of yet. So we could probably start with Isotopic, and if anyone else joins, move on.
Yeah. We shall start with Isotopic, and Isotopic, a fantastic race from you out on track. Obviously getting held up by Matt Tibos in the end of the race, but 3rd place for you out on track. Must feel quite happy given you won last week in Silverstone.
Hi, yeah, I'm very happy with the podium. Wasn't the best qualifying by me, spinning out in the second run. But yeah, it was a difficult race. Was not happy about the pit stop. Was held by this Ryan, 3.5 seconds in the entering of the pit. But overall, a good race, and yeah, very happy.
Yeah, you should be very happy with that third place. But just talk us about that safety car, because obviously I went away literally downstairs to check up on something. Came back, there was a safety car out, and you got held up in the pit lane by Ryan. 3.5 seconds that cost you in the end. You know that would have cost, you would have got the win because of that, if you didn't get held up.
If Nolan don't get removed the penalty, yeah. But I think so. Nolan was very fast today, and I think he deserves the win.
Yeah, Nolan definitely deserves the win. I'm sure we'll catch up with him in just a second. Mike, any questions for Isotopic?
Well, sure. Obviously, at the end of that race, you just get absolutely held prisoner by Matt Tibos. At the end, obviously, his tyres, they ended up puncturing in the end. You were fortunate to get past him before that happened. Was you concerned at any moment that his tyres could go pop right in front of you?
Not really. I wasn't expecting that he was gonna puncture, but of course, now that you talk about it, of course it happened. You tell me it happened, I don't know. But he got quite slow, and of course there was a big, many cars behind, and I was noticing the cars behind, especially this new guy, this what's his name? This German guy.
Matt
He came
Jonas?
fourth. Yeah. He was very aggressive, and that's the time when I felt like now I just have to try to get past and get to the end, because he was very aggressive, and yeah, I didn't want to crash.
And one more question: like, what happened in qualifying? Because we saw you crash out pretty early on at the exit at turn 2. Was it just on the exit you speared off to the right, or?
Yeah, I spun out. It was simple as that. I didn't get the enter I wanted, and I pushed a little bit too much with a little bit too much turn in. So then I lost my rear, and I hit the wall. So it was a stupid mistake. Second run, I had plenty of time, and yeah, I know that I have the pace to do a better qualifying than this.
Okay, James.
Final question from me. Obviously, we've got China next week. How do you think you're going to get on?
Really, I don't know. China, it's been a very long time since I drove in China. I really don't know my pace in China, but I'm going to practice, and I'll hope I'll be ready.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. 2 podiums to your name, though, Isotopic, running into next week. Go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome indeed. And now we'll skip the second place man, CR7. He's not here in the party. And we'll go straight to our winner out on track, Relentless Nolan. And Nolan, I was absolutely guaranteed that you had 11 seconds worth of penalties. So I might have said in commentary that CR7 got the win. And then Mike corrected me. And you're here with the win. Talk us through it.
Right. Well, first of all, before we say anything, this is for XL Dylan. Right, there we go. Right. We'll get that out of the way. Right, so, in quali, I bottled the first 2. I had pole position, and I was sat there thinking I'm going to be the fastest, and then right at the end, this guy goes and puts in a 0.3. So I was pretty certain, on pace, I wasn't the fastest. CR7 was faster than me. And then the safety car came out, and I have been well known for being terrible with strategy. And I had 3 people in the party saying put on mediums, and I was trying to convince them I should put on hards, but they convinced me in the end, and it worked out actually because I got the move done early on.
I thought you were going to say more. Sorry.
Oh, I can't. Well, I've been right. I've not had a win in this whole division. Well, in TTML, and last season I had about 4 races, and Mark ruined it every time for me. So I thought I'd be sat at the back the whole time, and then I get a win, and apparently I don't know what's going on. Apparently it might get taken off. I don't know, something about someone's penalties, but it might.
You also had a unfair 5 second as well.
I don't think it was a fair restart, but we'll see what stewards have to say.
Yeah, and if
you'll be. Go on, I was just going to say, you'll be interested to know, according to the task system, Matt Tibos won the race, not you.
Oh! Well, the task system can... I can't say that, can I? But it can go...
Yeah, basically, I'm not sure if it's something to do with your settings, maybe, if you've changed the flag or something, but it was showing you up as Matt Tibos CFC 2 on the stream. Oh, on the task system, even.
Oh, well, I changed my name on it. I don't know. I won. He can do one. I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Yeah, but the real Matt Tibos is not here, obviously. Nolan, obviously you won out on track. That safety car period, though, just talk us through it, because you said it was an unfair restart. I certainly think, from my perspective as a commentator, viewing that restart, it did look a little bit unfair, from my opinion. And obviously the stewards will take a look at it and maybe remove your penalty as well as other penalties as well that have been picked up under that. But just talk us through that safety car restart, because it seemed quite hectic.
Yeah, so obviously because I was on the mediums, I didn't want to try to get any warmth into my tyres at all until right at the end. And then the guy that was in the front, I think it was the McLaren, and I'd assume he stayed out to help out TDB because he was his teammate. And he took the wider line. He didn't take the racing line coming into the chicane. He went really wide. So then he started going. And obviously, if you see someone in front of you go really wide, they're clearly getting a run to get down the straight. He did that. So me and I think CR7 was ahead of me. We followed him, and he set off going and slowed down again, which thing just caused a train. And I get, like, whoever's in the front can control the pace. But when you're doing it on a chicane like that, when everyone's going to pile up, you're bound to cause penalties.
Yeah, and I definitely think that obviously penalties will be removed, penalties could be added as well for some of the drivers involved in that. But my final question, if Mike has got any questions, I'll come to him in just a second, but my final question from my perspective, China next week, how do you think you're going to get on?
Oh, I'm on a pad, so I'm going to win it.
Bold.
So it's very pad and ABS. Obviously, as you can see, Ariel Ryan is washed. I'm the number 1 driver, so he will be taking orders to help me win the race. But I think we can go for a podium. I wasn't expecting anything anyway, so I don't want to seem too. I think I did quite bad in Division 3, so I'm in Division 2. I thought I'd fight for points, but at Britain, the 2 laps that it was dry, I remember being really good on pace, and then here, obviously, like, I was a lot better than I thought I'd be on pace. So as long as it doesn't rain, because everyone knows if it rains I don't score points, that's just how it works. As long as it's dry, I think I have a chance at maybe a podium, but CR7's really quick. I think the fact that I chose to go on the mediums and he was on the hards is what helped me win.
Mike?
Yeah, and speaking about the mediums, you said you had people in the party now, and obviously the last 2 laps, seeing everyone who was on the medium start the puncher. Obviously, you've been on 80% yourself. How nervous were you that it was going to go pop on the final lap?
Well, right, I'll tell you what, I was fine, yeah? I didn't check it once. And then Nathan decides to let me know that the other medium runner's got a puncture. With a lap to go. And that's what... I was fine. I didn't check my tyre weigh. I think at one point I did. I was on like 63%. And instead of being the good Jeff that he is and just go, oh, you'll be fine, Nathan just went, oh no. So then, so I bricked it, but then everything was fine, and do you know the little icon in the bottom, how it's like orange and stuff? That went back down to yellow, so I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. And then they let me know that the other medium runner got a puncture. So, the last lap, I think you noticed I lost about 2 seconds because I was going really, really easy into the corners.
And yeah, that was another thing I was going to ask. Like on the final laps, it did look like you kind of knew on penalties that you would end up taking it anyway. So, just talking us through the mindset how you was going like from lap 20 to kind of keep ahead of CR7 to just trying to conserve it and end up taking the win.
Yeah, the idea was if I can hold up CR7 until lap 23ish, lap 22. although he's a lot faster than me, I don't think I'm going to lose 6 seconds to him. And then I didn't actually know TDB were that close. So when he got past me, I couldn't really fight it. I think he had DRS. None of us had DRS left. So the idea then was to use his DRS to stay within a lap of CR7. But at the end, last lap, like my tyres just felt like they'd been stampled onto the hole. It was just trying to get through the lap. And I think Isotopic was the guy that we were watching because he had no penalties, I don't think. So I had to stay within 6 seconds of him, or 5 seconds of him, just in case I can't get the penalty removed.
Yeah, I was bringing it up that Isotopic was the biggest threat at that point to taking the win, but of course, he was facing the issues behind the medium runners behind you, whose tyres also went off. But obviously, fantastic win, like a great performance throughout the day, and yeah, we look forward to seeing what you can do next week in China.
Thanking you.
And that is it for tonight here in TTML Division 2. Big thank you to Nolan, big thank you to Isotopic, of course, for the interviews. Fantastic to hear from both of the guys in the commentary box. And of course, we move on to China next week, but that doesn't mean to say we're going to have a little bit of fun in the meantime. Division 4 and Division 5 are happening tomorrow night. Division 4, it is myself and a to be confirmed commentator alongside me. Paco, very much best of luck with his theory test that he's going to be doing on Saturday. He's not going to be making it. Shall I reveal who's commentating alongside me tonight? Because I know it.
Yeah, you should go for it.
So, commentating alongside me tomorrow night, it is the return of the GOAT commentary team. It's not me and Spag. It's me and Dan. Shocked reaction.
Wow, that's amazing!
Yeah, Mr. Daniel Hoggard is going to be alongside me in the commentary box tomorrow night, and then Division 5, of course, it is James Boyle and NSR Pariah taking you through the action. Then we do it all over again on Monday night. That's probably the most enthusiastic commentary box we've had when I've announced a new commentator commentating alongside me for Division 4. But there we are. Mike, I'll come across to you, though. Your final thoughts? Who was your driver of the day as well?
Yeah, I gotta give it to Nolan. Fantastic all race, and I kept his tyres at the end, whereas everyone else completely exploded their tyres. And apart from the 5-second pen on the restart, kept it clean where he needed on pens.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Nolan will get my drive of the day, totally because he's not in the party alongside us. But Nolan does get. But yeah, Nolan does get my drive of the day, and that is it for TTML Division 2 tonight. And hopefully you enjoyed the action just as much as we've enjoyed commentating the action for Division 2. I shocked Mike with it last week, so let's do it more prepared this time. I have warned you, Mike, this time. I've been James Head.
I've been Michael Edwards.
Thank you so much for tuning in to TTML Division 2 tonight, and until next time, goodbye.
Right.